Gang. All right, y'all. Thanks for bearing with me. Sorry I'm late. I got a new crib, so it's taken me a little bit to get readjusted with all my studio equipment, but I want to make sure I'm bringing you the toppest tier of quality on these free public live streams. Welcome back. If you're not new, and if you're new, welcome. This is the free public live stream that is hosted by yours truly, KP, sponsored by ProfitLink. We'll be hosting these every Thursday and just see how it goes. We'll see what the response is. So the main goal of this is to kind of give you a preview of some of the activities we like to conduct every night, but on a private basis. Obviously, this will be a little bit more watered down because those who are paying us today are going to get the extra platinum service. But while you're here, we welcome you, and hopefully this will get you excited about, potential opportunities in the ProfitLink community. I did put the chat up in the top left corner, so be sure to ask questions if you have them this stream. This is for you, as well as existing members. Feel free to also ask some questions. Before I get started here, I just want to take care of a few announcements. If you haven't gotten a chance yet, go ahead and give us a follow on Instagram here at profitlink.co. Give us a follow and support the page. We ask for the little things. Leave us a like, leave us a comment. We like to hear from you. And honestly, guys, this is a good way to get some free sauce out of the ProfitLink community, okay? Because typically we charge, right? We charge for the services that we offer. But if you put in the work, if you're asking questions, if you're joining up on the chat group that we have through Instagram, that's free sauce for you guys, okay? And there's not a lot of communities doing that. If not, this is one of the very few, okay? So take advantage of it. These videos are sauce, right? Take advantage of it. This isn't just like sales pitch content. This is genuine content, well thought out. It's to help you as a trader, okay? So at the very least, you have nothing to gain but the opportunity. All you gotta do is follow the page. If you want to take your trading journey a step further, go ahead and check out the link in our bio, which takes you to our WAP platform. And this will get you signed up for our Discord. So there's a few options here. You guys can click through them yourself, but just note that there is a preview Discord or a free option. So we have a free portion of our Discord and we have a paid portion of our Discord, okay? The free version is pretty damn good. We give you free daily stock and crypto watch list. You're not going to get that out of any other group, guys. This is literally free trade signals to an extent, right? So it's a free watch list. It's different than signals, but it has price targets, in-depth analyses on a daily basis, and it's diverse because you get both stock and crypto. On top of that, you get a free trading chat where you can connect with me and others in the group as well, okay? And that way you can at least get a preview of the Discord, hence the name, and you can dabble and get a little bit of an experience alongside these weekly hosted public live streams. And then if you want to take your journey a step further, you can dabble with the monthly access, 3-month access, or lifetime access. Now, pay attention. Pay attention here close, all right? We're offering a fire sale through the duration of this live stream. We're going to offer 50% off the first month if you sign up by midnight. For your first month off, you get 50% off if you sign up by midnight. Use code SAVE50 on WAP, okay? We're going to go ahead and put that in the chat for you. We're going to remind you on Instagram, but we don't do this often, and you need to take advantage of it, okay? Because there's guys in here that are paying the 100% per month, and you only get the first month off, 50% off. Take advantage of it now. This is all you're going to get. We don't do this often. Next time it may be 20% or 15%. But because we have such a good turnout for this live stream, I know there's a lot of new faces. I'm going to offer you this one-time discount code. SAVE50. Get it, son. Okay? In case you have a little bit of anticipation. All right. Let's go ahead and jump into it. So the first thing I like to do every week, or every day, essentially, is I get the team ready for the market ahead, okay? The thing with trading is that you have to treat it like a business You can't just go in every day and be like, I'm going to trade this, I'm going to trade that. You need to treat it like a business. And part of that is having a game plan every morning. Now, I don't know if any of you guys work in corporate America, but it's pretty typical that, at least if you're a manager or something, or not even, but it's pretty typical that there's usually like a morning briefing, right? Some people do this like once a week. Some people do this every day. Just depends on your work environment. But there's a morning meeting. And the point of that meeting is to kickstart the day so everybody has a plan of attack of what's ahead. So what we do every night is I get you ready for the next day and really the rest of the week. If you guys have ever found yourself trading in the middle of the day, you may get blindsided by some news. There may be big events, right? And you may be in the middle of a trade, and then all of a sudden your trade just goes against you out of nowhere. And you're like, what the hell was that? What the hell's going on? This is to get you ready. I will make sure you're equipped every single fucking night of the week, okay? And on top of that, son, I'll be showing you how to trade so that one day you can become your own trade analyst and signal as well, okay? That's all I want for you. So part of that is looking at the markets and then seeing what news is ahead. So just to tell you right now, there is significant news tomorrow morning. Okay, mark it. Set an alarm. Put in your notes. 8:30 a.m. Eastern. Okay, so if you're Central, what is that? 7:30. If you're out in California, what is that? 5:30, right? Yeah. Please mark that time. And even though the stock market's not technically open until then, pay attention to what happens if you're awake at that time. And watch how the market reacts, okay? These are some things that I equip the team with and make sure that they are ready to go when they go into each and every day. So that's part of the service you'll get. So that's as far as the news is concerned. The next part is we take a look at the market itself. And an easy way to do that is to look at, really there's two stocks you can look at, and this keeps it really easy for you guys, okay? The first one here is known as SPY, okay, SPY. And the other one is known as QQQ. You can see they move pretty similarly when I flip in between them here. These are your bread and butter. I don't care what you guys trade, right? Penny stocks may be an exception, but whatever you trade, I highly advise that you have SPY up somewhere on another screen or that you're flipping back and forth between it. Because what you'll come and find out is that the power of these two charts, SPY and QQQ, they pretty much represent the stock market. So they can give you a feel of where things may be headed, right? If I'm trading, like, have you guys ever had days where your entire watch lists or all the stocks you're looking at are just, they're red or they're all green that day? I can almost certainly guarantee you, right, or nearly guarantee you that it has something to do with the market's direction that day, because however the market plays out is how a lot of the other stocks will play out. Okay, so today was a red day, and as you can imagine, there's probably a handful of stocks that were fairly red. Wasn't too bad of a red day, but still it was a red day. Okay. So we use this to kind of help predict or help us, paint a picture of where we're currently sitting in the market, and then we use that to kind of gauge what can happen. We don't know what's going to happen. All these other motherfuckers that are out there telling you where they think the market's going to go tomorrow is fucking out of their damn mind. Nobody ever knows. So all we do is we create the narrative. We just look at the facts in front of us. What are the charts telling us? And then we take it one day at a time, right? We look at areas on the chart that if they get broken or tested or price gets to those levels, that will help better paint the picture. But we don't know because we're not fortune tellers. So all we can do is mark those spots and then wait till the next day. It's the best we can do. So in this example, SPY, right? SPY, you can see, it's been selling out the last couple of days here. One thing that is significant, there's actually there's a level right here that we broke down below. And again, this is on the daily chart, guys. This is a really high time frame. So you got to think this candle right here alone represents the entire day's trading of today. This candle right here, because inside of that candle is baked in, a bunch of other candles, right? I'm going to highlight it with that purple square. Narrow it down. It's actually right there pretty much, right? All of today's trading, that one candle on the chart is capturing all of this right here. This is all of today's trading. And you can see overall, we pushed up early in the morning. you know, hit a point at the top, and then we just sold off the rest of the day. So we actually ended the day red. And if I go to the higher time frame, you can see that we have a red candle. In my case, it's gray. You can color code the candles whatever you want. It doesn't matter. I like to have gray candles for red candles. I like the style. But you can see since we broke this level here, this was the last level we need to break. So there's levels to this shit, right? It's like a staircase. And since we went down to the next step, we broke the next step. That means the next step after that is probably what we should be looking out for. Now, the next step after that is way down here. There's definitely steps well before that. It gets a little bit complicated. But right now, we're looking at this step now, and that's all we need to focus on. We don't need to focus on what's down here yet because we're not going to get there yet. Okay, when and if. So right now, let's keep it simple. We broke this level here. This is significant. Now, another thing we like to look at as a group is volume. So if you don't know much about volume is really good to watch. It's simple, right? The volume, just think of it as like this is the fuel, right? This is the fuel to your flame, okay? So if there's not a lot of volume, guess what? There's not a lot of fuel. And if there's not a lot of fuel, your flame's not going to be as strong, right? You're going to have a weak little piddly flame, right? Little ember, right? But if you want them things boosting, son, right? Like Lambo exhaust or fucking locomotive engine shit, furnace shit, son, you're going to need some volume. So when you look at today, right, we'd like to combine these things. So when you look at today, yes, we closed below this prior level, but the volume was actually pretty low. And so that tells me a couple things, right? It tells me, one, we did still break that level, so we can't ignore that. But it also tells me we didn't break it with that much authority, okay? We didn't break it with that much strength. So we need to use a little bit of caution here. This doesn't automatically mean, hey, we broke that level, tomorrow's going to be red, right? And why is that? Well, it's because we didn't break that level with strength, son. So we need to be cautious here, okay? So I think the easiest thing you can do is go to SPY, go to the daily chart, mark this level here. All right, that level puts us at, let me get a price for you. 467.82. Mark that level, and that's all you need to watch going into tomorrow. Okay, for now. Another thing I would watch as well is the high from today. So when you guys are trading stocks, a good rule of thumb is you want to look at yesterday's high and yesterday's low. Because if you go above yesterday's high, that means you're creating a new high. That means price is likely going to push up. So if price is doing this tomorrow, right, breaks, this is today's high, which will be yesterday for tomorrow. So this is today's high right here. If we break past that, right, it's likely we're going to see more upside. And then today's low is right here, right? So today's high I'll mark, let's mark blue. Today's low will mark red. All right. So the easiest thing you can do tomorrow is watch really these three lines, right? Red, white, and blue, baby. America, that's all you fucking need, son. Watch these three lines. Keep it simple. This is literally all I do, guys, right? This is all the group does. We make good money doing this shit. It's just simple. Just keep trading simple. You don't need all these fucking indicators. You don't need all this shit. We'll layer that in later, right? We'll show you day by day the tools, the tactics, the strategies that you can incorporate while watching price move around these levels. But I think the easiest way to get yourself started, the easiest way to start seeing how price moves, why price is going red, why price is going green, is to understand some of the key areas you need to watch day in and day out. So we're going to watch this higher time frame area that I would argue we're probably like right at. We did break below it at the end of the day, right? This white line we drew on the daily. We did break below it at the end of the day, but you can already see we're bounced back towards it. So we need to see if we can actually truly clear this line. Again, that 467.82. We also need to watch previous day's high, which will be 467.05. And we also need to watch previous day's low, and then previous day's high, which is 470.96. So, you know, those are pretty much your easiest references. So tomorrow, you best believe if we break this red line, it's likely we could see further downside, and no different than the top line. If we come up to the blue line and we break it, we could see more upside. Just keep it that simple. That's all you got to do, man. Now, there are instances where you might not break either the next day. Sometimes you trade sideways. Those aren't the most fun days to trade, but you can definitely still make money, okay? And again, that comes with the strategies we'll show you and so forth. But those are pretty much your 3 scenarios. That's all stock trading is, right? Things are either going to go up, right? You're going to go up, down, or sideways. And I know that sounds obvious, but what's not obvious is how do you identify, the things that are going to show you what direction they're going to head next or could show you, right? So things can either go up, down, or sideways. See how that works? Right? So you take one thing at a time, learn the little things around the chart, and you'll be on your way. So that's what I would advise to get you a head start. Look at previous days high, look at previous days low, and you can do this on any stock. But we like to focus on SPY just because SPY is like the mecca. Like I said, SPY, if you guys trade Tesla, if you trade Microsoft, Amazon, all these other big companies, NVIDIA, they can do things on their own. But at the end of the day, SPY shits on all of them because they all funnel up into SPY. SPY is the umbrella of the stock market, okay, essentially. SPY represents 80% of the United States economy, okay? It's the top 500 largest publicly traded companies in the United States, okay? QQQ is a little bit different, but they do move really similar, okay? You can see there's not a whole lot of difference, but SPY is kind of the mecca, okay? So what I'm going to do next is I'm going to open up the chat. Feel free to screenshot this or come back in and replay this video because this is some pretty good sauce and this is pretty simple sauce, right? Stock trading doesn't happen overnight, but I will make sure day by day you're getting funneled what you need to get closer to that point where you can be consistent, right? And it starts with the little things first. There's levels to this shit, right? Learn the areas to watch on the chart. Learn the things to watch in the stock market, such as SPY, right? Understand what happens when you get to those levels. Understand how to play if it does go sideways. Understand how to play if it does go down or it does go up. Understand what an entry looks like or an exit looks like. Understand price targets, right? Understand the amount of size you need to have in each trade so you last in this game, right? And also become profitable and consistent. So each one of those topics I mentioned, right, you got to spend time learning each one. And this is just the start of it, right? This is step 1. Right. This can be step 20. It doesn't matter. There's no perfect order to go in, but I think this is a good start for you. Okay. So what I'm going to do next, like I said, I'm going to open it up to questions. We pretty much covered the market. So I talked about 2 things, right? This is how I do it every day. We talk about any events in the market that can shake things up, right? And what did I say at the beginning of the stream? 8:30 a.m. Eastern. There's a report known as non-farm payroll. It is one of the most it's a very major, it's a big report, okay, that the stock market respects. And so the stock market will react to it almost certainly. So we have that tomorrow morning. So I talk about the news around the stock market. And then the second thing is I look at the chart itself, and we did that as well. So we talked about some scenarios for the market. We talked about all 3 possible scenarios, right? Up, down, sideways scenarios. And then we also talked about any news that can shake us up. So I covered the markets for y'all, and it's that simple, right? Obviously, right, we will go into more detail in the private Discord channel, but, that's what people are paying for. But we'll go into more detail. We'll talk about price levels. We'll talk about, we'll talk about many things, strategies around it. What are some other outcomes if the price goes to this spot and all that. But for now, I think this is a good way for anybody and everybody to get started trading stocks, right? First thing is first, learn how the market moves and learn how, just learn how the market moves, right? Learn how the market moves, learn how price moves, learn the locations, right? And then the next step is layer in strategy, right? That involves risk management, that involves entries and exits, sizing, all that good stuff, okay? Levels to this shit. So I covered my spiel. I'm going to open it up to the room now. What questions do you have for those who are new or for even those who are existing, right? Maybe we can kind of give them a preview of how we like to do things a little bit. Not too much, but, guys that are already in here, I already see familiar faces. If you want to just ask a normal question like this was any other live stream, go ahead. or we can talk about stocks that you're watching. If anybody has questions on like what trading platforms do I use, or what can I use, or what do you recommend, we can also answer that. There's no such thing as a dumb question, right? We don't bully people in here. Everybody starts from somewhere. I don't even know why there's any anxiety about asking questions. Everybody starts from somewhere, okay? But quiet mouths don't get fed. So make sure you're asking them, all right? Alan, what's up, brother? Chris, Darius. Darius been waiting 10 minutes. Darius, you a fiend, boy. You a fiend, boy. Appreciate you, man. Darius is fired up. Angel, is it Angel or Angel? We have L3Fer in here. What's up, baby? Whoa, easy there. Nismo, German. I don't know if you can see what I see, because I know I made the chat box kind of small. All right, L3Fer is signing up. Save 50, guys. First month is 50% off. You have till midnight, okay? I'm going to give you guys some time. You have till midnight Central Time. That gives you 2.5 hours to go ask the girlfriend or wife. Or, honestly, I wouldn't even tell her, dude. Fuck that shit. Just fucking buy it, dude. She don't need to know. She don't need to know that you're investing in yourself to make more money. Come on now. It's not even an argument, dude. Shit, my girl said that. I'd be like, bet. I'd be like, okay, bet, baby. I guess I won't spend money on something that's going to help make us more money. I'm going to go order a fucking pizza instead. The fuck out of here. The fuck out of here. Yeah, we've never done a discount, honestly. That is a first. We don't discount shit really ever. And so just make sure you take advantage. I mean, 50% is hard for me to stomach, but I want to make sure, we're starting off the year with a bang. We didn't do any holiday sales, so I think it's the very least we can do. But it is a fire sale, so you do have to act quick, okay? And that at least gives you a month to dabble, right? You can figure it out. $50, guys. Come on. I mean, $50. I mean, shit. I'll beat my own ass if you don't get $50 worth of value. You will get $50. You will get what? You will get $1,000 worth of value just from the lessons, the one-on-one. You can just be in there and be a sponge and not even fucking trade, and you'll make well over your $50 back. And then on top of that, right, if you do happen to capture some good plays, you'll probably be making more than $50, son, okay? So there's really not a lot to lose, okay? But the way my savings and my checking account is set up, that Kevin Hart shit. See, my savings and then my checking is in my. See, that's funny because I'm getting old, but back in the day, that was such a bitch when you had to owe somebody money. It was always a bitch. So I hate owing people money, but back in the day, I remember like it was so easy to get away with. Because you could just keep juggling it around. But nowadays, hell no. Nowadays, it's like bet, Apple Pay, Square, Venmo. I'd be like, what's your excuse, motherfucker? I'm right here. Here's my Venmo. But my checking is okay. Link your checking to your Venmo, bitch. Money's right. What do you mean? So you can't hide no more. What if we break the low but with no strength? It is possible to break the low with no strength. Good question. So if we do break the low with no strength, it is possible. What will typically happen is that could throttle it. So if you break the low with no strength, that may bring in strength itself, right? That's one thing that you can look out for, and that's one thing you should look out for, because a lot of the times at these levels, it gets a little complicated, but at these major levels, there's a reason why price bounced here. And there's a lot of liquidity there. There's a lot of shares there. There's a lot of stop losses there, okay? Think about that. So there's people that are in this trade, and they have a bunch of stop losses at the low of day. So when price breaks that could throttle it, and that might send it further down, because now all these people are getting stopped out. It's adding fuel to the fire, right? Those stop losses is fuel, and that can add many reasons to increase the volume at which it's at. Again, the volume is just it's one way to equip you guys with another symptom of the narrative, okay? in our group, we look at every symptom we possibly can because we try to get it right, right? It's called confluence, right? These symptoms, we call them confluence. If you guys follow a lot of stock trading pages on Instagram, YouTube, whatever you do, there's a word known as confluence, which is a common term in stock trading. And all confluence means is like, how many odds can I stack against my trade, right? So a confluence can be, we broke a key level. Another confluence is we're forming a pattern. Another confluence is there's high volume. Another confluence is it's bouncing off my EMA line. There's so many things, but the more you have, the better your odds. So you want as much confluence as possible. There's no perfect formula. Everybody has their own preference. Me, I like to have, I look at a lot of shit quickly. I'd say anywhere from 3 to 5 is probably a good amount of confluence, right? Because a lot of the times one example is, right, some people just use singular confluence. They just look at one thing, and that's the reason to grab a trade. So, for example, let's say tomorrow we start selling off, and like you want to grab SPY puts, or you want to bet on the market going down, right? So as soon as you get to this level and it starts breaking through it a little bit, some people will just grab puts right there. They'll say, okay, I'm jumping in. And that's very risky because the only confluence you have is that it broke this red line. That's it. You're not using anything else. So stack as many odds as you can in your favor. That's one odd. But the more odds that you have, the better chance that you have of success. Because that's where a lot of people get screwed, right? They're just like, oh, it broke the red line. I'm going to short sell. That's it. Okay. Because what'll happen, probably 9 times out of 10, unless you're lucky, is that you'll get faked out. And then it'll be back on its way to the upside. And then you got fucking smoked because all you did was chase this trade. All you did was think this was going to go further down just because we broke that red line. No, I want to look at other confluence. Is there more volume, right? This, that, and the third. Volume is just one of many confluences you can look at. And it's a very common one to observe. And it's an easier one to observe. And it's a common one that we practice in the group, and you'll see it really with any trader. A lot of traders look at volume because it's like, again, it's the strength in the move. It's the underlying strength. Okay. Let me see. Let me see if I can make this chat box bigger. Okay. All right. Fire sale. SPY equals top 500 companies. Yep. So it's SPY's basically the S&P 500. Okay. The Saxon Poor 500, which is the top 500 publicly traded companies in the United States, and it represents about 80% of the U.S. economy. QQQ is a little bit different. It's the NASDAQ 100. Those are the top 100 companies internationally, and that's kind of the big caveat is that it's international companies. So you have a sprinkle of Chinese companies in there, and it's primarily tech companies as well. And tech just fundamentally is a more volatile market for many reasons, but that's where you'll see, like, if SPY is coughing, Q's is sneezing sometimes, right? So it may be more magnified of moves. It just really depends, but they are pretty correlated, so they move very similar. But sometimes that'll give you an edge, right? You might see SPY getting close to the setup you like, but then Q actually has the setup you like, so then you can capitalize on Q. So it's good to bounce in between them. What time frame do we use to see previous lows and highs? So you can use any of them. I think the easiest one is the daily. Because look at this. See what that red and blue line is? Look at that. So what I said at the beginning of the stream is this candle right here. This is the daily chart. So this candle represents an entire day's worth of trading. So the easiest thing you can do is just mark the top of that candle and the bottom of that candle, and that's your previous day's high and low. And then if you want to double check yourself, you can come down to lower time frames like the 1 hour or the 15 minute. I'd say the 15 minutes a good start. And then you can just double check your work and be like, okay, yep, that is the high and that is the low. That's the easiest way to do it though. right? So like yesterday's high and low. All right, let's go back in time a little bit. All right, so if it's a fresh day and I'm like, okay, bet I need to mark previous day's high and low. Previous day's high is going to be top of that. Previous day's low. Count the wicks. Count the wicks. Okay. So previous day's high, previous day's low. I want to double check my work. Let's go to the 1 hour. Okay, that looks pretty good. Let's go to the 15-minute, just extra check. Yep, looks good. See? And you can see how well price respects it, right? Look what it did pre-market. So this yellow, I don't know if you can see on my screen. So I have a blue region here and a yellow region here. These are the extended hours. This is more of a quiet time in the market. I would just be careful. We can't trade during this time, but just be careful with things you see here. But this is pre-market, and you can see pre-market, we came right down to previous day's low. Look at that. Look how we reacted to it, right? Formed a little wick there. If you go to a lower time frame, right? You see that candle. That candle had that reaction for a reason. That wasn't on accident. It's because it got near previous day's low, right? And then look at that bounce. Boom. Right? It's not a coincidence. It literally bounced. Price literally, this is market open right here yesterday. Wait, no, today, this morning. See this bounce we had? It's not coincidence that it just bounced right here, guys. That's previous day's low. Like that's the power, right? So those little things like that. So hopefully that's helpful. Okay, but you need more confidence. You can't just say, oh, it's okay, I had one green candle off previous day's low. I'm going to go long on this. I'm going to grab calls. And you can't, you don't want to trade like that. It's the recipe for disaster. But if you have a green candle and there's volume and there's XYZ, right, the more odds you can create for yourself, then the more likely the outcome that you're seeking will happen. All right. TradingView accessible through iPad. Yeah, dude, TradingView is dope. I love TradingView, man. This is all I use. I mean, I'm religious to trading. I've been using this for years, man. It's I don't know, a lot of people don't use it. You know, some people use so there's a trading platform known as Thinkorswim. Some people just chart straight up on there too. But I'll tell you what, I trade on Thinkorswim, or I used to for a couple of years, and I would still do all my charting on here, and I would just use Thinkorswim to execute, like buy or sell trades. You can technically trade through this platform, but just assume that you can't, okay? If you guys are trading, it's called futures. It's a whole different thing. If you guys are trading futures or even crypto, you can actually trade them straight up through the TradingView screen or platform, which is nice because if some of you guys have 9-to-5 jobs and you have access to a computer, you can probably just trade at work, honestly. Okay, versus like having to sit on your phone. It might not, you know, because if you're sitting on your phone, it's going to look a lot worse. But what you can do is just like have a fucking tab up with emails or some bullshit, and then just fucking have the other tab with TradingView and just fucking get it, dude. So that's one thing you can do. And we talk about all those tactics. We talk about, I mean, like, no shit. Like, we talk about tactics to help you, you know, get around your 9-to-5 job. I mean, we have guys that are trading while they're driving and shit, which is like not recommended, but all that shit. We have guys that are, you know, pretending to go to the bathroom so that they can execute their trades. You know, we talk about all that stuff because we're just realistic about it. It's not always business. You know, we talk about things to help each other out. And so that may be a method to the madness for you. Alan's going to ask about fucking Tesla again. What do you got, Alan? You're in some meta puts? Yeah, I'll look at meta. I don't know why'd you grab puts, man? Why'd you grab puts? What did you see? I don't know why you grab puts, dude. I'm about to beat my own ass. All right. So I don't like puts here. I don't like puts here. There's a couple of reasons. You know, one, you got that significant fair value gap we respected. Ascending triangle, perhaps. Again, I'm speculating. It's just a pattern. All right. You went short at a discounted area. My mans, what you looking at here? I think this is valid if you played it like a 2-1-2 continuation. So if we close below, previous day's low, and your stop can just be previous day's high. That's what I thought you were thinking, but we never got below that one candle. So I don't know, man. Now, granted, it is a shallow area to be bouncing at, but also, might take that back now because we have that prior. we got that prior high right there. So, dude, I don't know why you grabbed puts here, dude. Listen, this is just my opinion. I obviously have only looked at this for 2 minutes. You've looked at it. You were thorough with it. You might have seen something else I'm not looking at, right? Granted, we just got done talking about how the market is pointing down, but we also got done talking about how some stocks can run independent of the markets. Meta's not typically one to do that, and so there's usually correlation there. So you might be okay, but just be cautious next time, right? We're going back to the basics at this point, right? You're shorting in a discounted range, right? You're shorting in a discounted range, which is a lower probability, but I do it all the time, so there's no hypocrisy there. Let me see intraday here. I mean, it did struggle at previous day's high, so there's some optimism. Kind of just did this grind up all day. Nice displacement there. Was that breakout we saw intraday off that ghetto ass pattern you drew or whatever? Was it? The fuck did you draw? Was it this shit? Oh, it's not bad. I'll give you that. Right, and then after that displacement, it just kind of cruised along all day, got up to previous day's high, and then it rejected previous day's high. Yeah, just if we break previous day's high, I'd just be careful. You still have a little bit of hope, but it is Friday, so these are 0 DTE, so, clapping cheeks over here. Yeah. I don't know. We'll see, man. No risk, no Rari. Jawbone, what's up, man? What's up, brother? Mozilla. $50 and make that back in 5 minutes. Bruh. Hell yeah, dude. 5 seconds. Send in Doge. We don't take Doge. I don't think so. I don't know if WAP lets you pay in Doge or in crypto. It might. Can you show us an example? Oh, whoops. What else you look at as confluence? I don't know, man. You're going to have to join the Discord, man. That's all you get for today, man. I look at a lot of things. I look at different time frames. So I do a top-down analysis. That's absolutely critical. So when I look at any stock, I don't just look at like what's the 5 minute doing. I look at the whole shebang. I start with the daily chart and I just bring it down. Daily chart, and then I'll jump to like 4 hour, 1 hour, 30 minute, 15. These are my favorites. You don't have to copy them. You can if you want. I don't give a shit. To each their own. You can do whatever you want. But I do a top-down analysis. So I start at the top and I go all the way down as far as like the level I'm trading at. So if I usually execute my trades on the 5 minute, I'm gonna start with the daily chart and then funnel all the way down to the 5 minute. The reason I do this is so it helps. A lot of people get caught in the weeds, right? So they may see that, things may look like they're going up, but then they've been going down the last month. So then you're getting, you could be trading in a low probability environment, right? Sometimes you want to just ride with the wave. If the wave's been fucking going down the last month straight, then, you're more than likely to have success if you're grabbing puts or you're trading to the downside. If you look at Boeing, Boeing's been a crack baby the last fucking, it hasn't been the last probably week, but just before Christmas, right? Just a crack baby. So Boeing's, this is an example where it's like, if I would be more hesitant to be going short in this environment. With time and advancement, when you get more skilled at trading, it really doesn't matter. You can find ways to succeed going short when things are pushing up. But either way, why would you want to go against the grain? You don't want to go against the grain. I'm not going to use the cliche term trend is your friend, but just your odds are going to be a little bit lessened if you're trying to go short against this thing, if it's been pushing up for, months. Okay, so, or however long this is. I think it's almost like 2 months or something. Yeah, almost 2 months. Okay. An example of a fake breakout. Yeah, there's fake breakouts every day. Let's find them. May just have to look on a lower time frame here. Now remember, the stock market's fractal, so everything we talk about is relative. Okay, like you got to remember, guys, like there's breakouts happening on like the 1 minute chart multiple times a day, and then there's major breakouts that happen on the higher time frame. The higher the time frame, the more weight something carries. Plain and simple. That's why I do a top-down analysis. That's why I start at the top and I go down to the bottom. But when you get more advanced at trading, you can trade in the weeds and be okay. You can trade on the 1 minute, 2 minute to 3 minute and really not give too much of a fuck about the overall market direction. But you're still going to be just subconscious of it. But I mean, like I said, there's like some of my biggest days I've ever had, I was going against the grain. Okay. Like I was shorting while the market was like pushing up most of the day. Okay. As crazy as that sounds. It's not ideal though, right? And I had to be quicker on my feet, and it's definitely riskier, but that just comes with time. False breakout. I want to give you a good candle to show you a really good example of this. I thought we had one on Tesla, or was it Amazon? Let me see. Yeah, here's a good one. Actually, there's a couple on this one. So this is Amazon. What it is? So let's go with this one here. All right. So if you're looking at Amazon here, this is a very bullish pattern. It's called a bull pennant. You can also call it a symmetrical triangle, but essentially what's happening is price is squeezing, right? It's all coming down to a focal point here. So a lot of people look for the breakout here. And as soon as it breaks one of these sides, that's pretty much your breakout. In this kind of setup, people are looking more for that top line to break out. Now, the thing is, these money makers, right? These guys that run the market, these algorithms, the millions of dollars that move the markets. We don't move the markets, guys. It's like these hedge funds and shit. They know we see this pattern. And so they can catch you. They can catch you quick. So look at this example from that day. All right. People knew, everybody's looking at this shit. The market opened on, this is a Wednesday morning. The market's about to open and it's open. Boom. Right. You know how many people probably bought calls on that shit and they're like, this is it. It's breaking out. Yeah. And then look what happened. Psych. That's a false breakout. Okay. You can get this. I'm telling you, the motherfuckers know, boy. Okay. So that's an example of false breakout. There's plenty of examples. Pretty much where you see wicks. Like really long wicks. Right. Let me see. Yeah, like I said, that's probably a good example I can think of right now. I mean, look at that. It just dragged down after that. So fake people out here. Again, like the better you get though, like you can catch this shit. Like we'll still catch it. Like I think we ate on this day. Actually, I think I personally ate on this day. Let me see here. Let me talk about this Amazon trade real quick. Yeah. So on this trade, no, I don't think I ate there, but I remember I traded this myself. I bought right there, and I sold like right there. And that was one of my biggest plays. This year. Yeah, I caught that bottom. And I sold, yeah, I sold somewhere, actually it's probably more like right there. as I saw that prior high. So that, you know, shit like that. But if false broke out here too, look. You're looking at this here. That shit looks like it's in go mode, doesn't it? You have this ascending triangle pattern. Shit's starting to slowly crank out. It, you know, it knocked out this prior high right here. That was a big level, right? Came out of that bad boy. It's starting to cruise up. And then what did it do? Psych. Look at that shit. People got caught right there, boy. Look at that shit. See that? False breakout. But it can come back and go for it again. Certainly. Look at it, as it did here. See, now it came right back to that point where it faked everybody out and it continued on its way. And it did what it was originally set out to do. It just wanted to fake you out first, right? Grab some of your shares before taking it higher. One last time. All right, guys, we have about 2 hours left on code SAVE50. Again, SAVE50, SAVE50. Get your first month 50% off in the ProfitLink Discord. Don't sleep, son. This is the biggest promotion we've ever had. Ever. Has Onion tried Turbo Options Trader on Webull Desktop? What? Just saw today, was thinking it's like the TOS one. I don't know who Onion is. Trade driving using autopilot. Yeah, dude. When I used to have a Tesla, oh my gosh, man, I'd be trading like a fucking goon in that shit, dude. Peloton. This is an interesting company. I used to trade it back in the day quite a bit. I like Peloton long term. If you're investing, this company, they've had a lot of issues, but they have enough strength to be held up. I don't really see them going bankrupt. They're really aggressive right now with their marketing and, you know, networking and building connections and working with these big companies. So I think they have enough going for them to really only go up from here. That doesn't mean buy. That doesn't mean we can't break 421 right here. It can definitely go lower, but I mean, how much lower? I mean, you're trading at like all-time lows. So, you know, I like this company for like a, you know, 5-year outlook. You know, 1 to 5 year hold. I really like it. I'm not gonna personally grab it, but I actually heard about this company today. I hear about it. So I follow the markets like every day. I just listen to, you know, a lot of the pundits, and I was hearing about Peloton today, and I've been following Peloton. I don't follow it, but I've been hearing about Peloton since pre-COVID. I was part of a lot of these gaps that they had, all this shit. And so I kind of have an idea. But if you just use a little common sense too, right? I mean, people still know the name very well. You see it on like a million fucking commercials. So that kind of implies that they're hanging in there. If they were really in that much trouble, you wouldn't be seeing them everywhere still. They wouldn't still be a household name. This is a household name. So it's got some organic fundamental footing to it. It's just whether or not they have good leadership in the company at that point, and they're doing well with their balance sheet and everything. So that I'm not privy to right now, but yeah. Looks like it failed too on the daily. Oh my gosh. You trading failed twos now? Y'all kill me, dude. Yeah, I don't know. I just keep it simple, dude. I mean, there's nothing. I don't know what's telling you downside. Again, I'm looking at it in another lens, outside looking in. I don't see any setup on this thing. I mean, if anything, long at this point, but I mean, it hasn't pulled back that far, right? This is easily above the 50 right now. So, they could definitely see more downside. I mean, I don't know. I'm indifferent about it. I don't trust it. I don't like things that I'm indifferent about. I like things I'm confident about. I'm not confident about this in any direction. I wouldn't touch this motherfucker. You out of your damn mind, son. You know better than this. You know better than this. There's a rising wedge on the daily. Yeah, but you don't know when that's going to break out. And that's only one confluence. The same shit happened with Tesla, bro. Right? That should have been a lesson learned. Look at this shit. Actually, that's getting nearby, but... Right? But I mean, how much did you get smoked in this shit right here, dude? Look at that. Motherfucker said bet for like a month straight. It's trying to break out for like a month straight, right? So you don't know when it's gonna happen. The cleanest one I recall was Google, and I'm still watching that to this day, dude. Look at that. And look at that. I talked about the dead cat bounce, and look exactly what it fucking did. My lord. So predictable, dude. But I remember watching Google. Man, this is one of the cleanest wedges I've seen, man. And I remember just watching with y'all, and I'm like, man, this motherfucker's going to go, dude. I know it. And then it had, like, the biggest gap of the year. Oh, my gosh, man. That would have been so much money, dude. But there was no signal that that was going to happen. I mean, that was post-earnings, probably news or something. Probably some AI shit. CDE. Cure biting. So with this, you're going to want to make sure you're watching commodities or raw materials. What do they mine? Unless it's crypto. Non-energy, precious metals. Okay. So make sure you're watching commodities with this. I do like how low it's trading. So one confluence, right? Going back to the word confluence, one confluence you can look for on this is what precious metal do they mine? Pull up that chart and then see how it moves with this. So for example, they mine gold, right? And you're noticing that, hey, every time gold has a red day, this pretty much has a red day. That's a huge confluence for you, dude. You are trading near this prior low here. That's a big level. And right now it's at it. Okay, I'm not going to say it's holding it because there's nothing telling me that, but it's at it right now. So I think you need a little more with this one. I do personally. I need a little bit more. Right now it's consolidating a lot around that prior low. So prematurely she's holding up that line, but stack as many odds in your favor as you can before pulling the trigger. I'm not seeing enough here to grab it at this point, unless somebody else does. I just don't. Again, but I have a different lens. It's just what I'm privy to, what I've seen. I don't know anything about this company. I don't know if there's anything in the pipeline for news. I don't know how respectable it is to something else, which could be, if I had to speculate, it'd be whatever raw material they mine or whatever. I just don't know enough about it. But just looking at the candles, metals and started lithium. Nice. Yeah, lithium's wild. I think there's a lithium mine in Southern California, right near Mexico. I think has the most. It has the most lithium recorded, at least. Most lithium in the world actually comes from that mine. It's the most lithium rich location in the world right now, and I believe it's in Southern California, like southeast California. I forgot the name of the mine, man. I was just looking into this. Yeah, lithium's nasty, but it is a growing material, and it's not gonna go away. Right? I mean, just look at EVs, for example. So, yeah, I mean, beyond that, yeah, I would look more into. So I would pull up lithium and see how it runs alongside that. That's what I recommend. Yay. Okay, guys. Well, with that, it's 10 o'clock. We gave you a whole hour, so hopefully you found this informative. And this is nothing. I mean, we usually go way more into detail than this, but I'm hoping that I was able to provide enough value for you this stream. You got a little bit of a taste of kind of what comes about these streams, right? We answer every question that we can. We walk through it with you. We're not just like, yep, looks good, right? We don't give you the thumbs up answer. Sometimes like I can only give you so much, like with CDE, for example, but I hope I at least provided you that next step that you need with CDE in that example. So that's all my goal is. Hopefully you found this helpful. Again, don't forget to like us on Instagram or follow us for free sauce every day, and join up on our Instagram group message where Sebastian can help you out there. And also don't forget to check out our WAP page, again, running promo code SAVE50 for the next 2 hours. In 2 hours, that code will expire. Is the biggest discount we have ever offered through ProfitLink. That gets you 50% off your first month only. Go ahead and slap it, baby. Go ahead and check it out. And at the very least, join our Discord for free, where you get a free daily stock and crypto watch list with price targets and a summary, right? Every fucking day, except for the weekends. And then a free trading chat. That's it, man. So if you found this useful, it was great having you. And we'll see you in the next one. All right, baby? Catch you next week on